Well, that didn't go to plan, did it? Hey team, today I'm going to be taking you through my December TBR. There is no set TBR in terms of readathons or playing my shop roulette game, anything like that. I just have a set number of books that I said at some point this year I wanted to get to, and I haven't. So this is my final attempt of saying, these are the books I said I wanted to read before the end of the year. I've got to do it by adding it to my monthly TBR. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 books here. I read on average between 10 and 12 books a month. Obviously, December might change all that because Christmas, New Year, brother's birthday is actually on New Year. So quite a lot of things happening, but I'm going to take you through this TBR. My plan is to read all of these and then still have time to do any sort of read I want. Don't know what the likelihood of that is going to be. So to start off with, I'm going to take you through my buddy reads. Hey guys, Editing Connor here. I just wanted to pop in because I didn't actually explain myself very well. Basically, this TBR is not all of the books I want to read that month in December. This is just a TBR for books that I've either previously said I need to read by the end of the year, or buddy reads where I've got a rhythmic system. A system. Like, for example, with my Shadowhunter books, I am reading them 2 a month in order to meet a goal, so I have to read them. The Women's Murder Club that I'm reading with Jade, I'm reading to get all of those books in time for the next one out and stuff like that. I have a couple of extra buddy reads. I have one with Brooke, for example. I have one with Mel that I've not included here because they're just standalone books. And although they're priorities, I want to get to them. This is more of a TBR of books I need to read. Like, this is more of a, no matter what, I have to read these books kind of TBR. You know, you get me. You understand what I'm saying. But yeah, just wanted to pop in and let you know because I don't want anyone saying, oh, I thought you had a buddy read with Brooke, or I thought you had a buddy read with Mel this month reading this. And I'm like, I just forgot to add it. Because I didn't forget to add it. I purposely made this TBR differently to kind of force myself, these are the books you need to read. I just completely ended that clip without saying bye. Sorry. All right, back to the video. See you guys later. I have been buddy reading the Women's Murder Club with Jade from paperback to hardback. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you will have seen the books I've read. And next month, Jade and I are on track to read Seventh Heaven, which is the 7th book in the Women's Murder Club series, and Eighth Confession, which is the 8th. Jade and I have been buddy reading these at a rate of 2 books per month, and so far it's been working well, but we have been quite busy. Sometimes it's been hard for us to start, and sometimes it's been hard for us to kind of finish these books at the same time. Like, 'cause I know Jade had to work a lot one month, whereas I binged through the book and finished it, and then there've been other times where Jade's finished the book before me, and it gets confusing. But these are the ones we're on track for. My plan, I haven't really discussed with Jade, but we have both said that we don't mind, like, taking it a bit slower if we need to. But there are 22 books in this series so far, I think. Yeah, we're up to book 20, and then there are 2 shorter books, like 0.5 books. So there is 22 books to read in this series, and we're on book 7 and 8. So my plan is to read book 7. I'm going to read book 7 this month with Jade. I really don't know what it's about. I don't really like going into reading these plots too much until I start the book, just because I don't know what's going to happen in the book I'm currently reading. I am going to be starting 6th Target this week. Is that right? 6th Target? Or have I just made that up? I might have just made that up. I'm starting the 6th book this week, and I don't want to read the back of this in case it says something that happens, because that has happened before, and I've ruined it for myself. So the plan, I'm very long-winded, sorry. My plan is to read this book. Then, if I have time throughout the month, I am going to read this one. However, I might ask Jade if we can just kind of play it by ear, and instead of having this one as a set in stone book to read, because it wasn't one of them that I definitely have to read, it's just kind of keeping on track with the 2 books a month, I might ask if we can kind of postpone this one till January, and then January we can do 8, 9, then 10, 11 in Feb, like do it that way instead. I just think that one would be a lot easier, but absolutely planning on this, planning on doing both. This one is going to be 100% set in stone. This one is a potential depending on my time, because it is Christmas, it's the end of the year. I want to end 2020 on a high. Obviously it's been a bit of a crap year, but in terms of my reading, I've had a really good reading year and I want to end it on a high, and I don't want to feel as though I'm putting myself in a slump or reading badly in the final month because I'm trying to fit loads of books in. So I want to do a lot of kind of mood reads in December. So that's the plan. Then I'm going to take you on to the next set of reads I have to do. And I am currently reading the Shadowhunter Chronicles, and I am reading 2 a month because I want to have them caught up and be up to date in time for the release of Chain of Iron. So next month, my plan is to read Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, which is a short story collection. And that is with Cassandra Clare, Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. I don't know what this is about, but I'm going to read this because it is set after The Mortal Instruments. So my plan is to read this one next. That is 100% set in stone, as is my next read from the Shadowhunters, which is Lady Midnight, which is book 1 in the Dark Artifices series. I'm really excited to read this. I got a bit of an introduction to some of these characters in City of Heavenly Fire, and I love them. So I cannot wait to carry on. I've also been told that the Dark Artifices is an excellent series, so I really can't wait to start that. But these 2 are set in stone. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm planning on reading the Shadowhunter Academy early in the month, and then this one maybe a bit later in the month. But that is my plan. I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm going to be reading this next. Right. So that is it for my own personal reads. Now it is time for other reads. So I made a video a while ago where I had Jade rank 5 thriller books by their first line in terms of the level of enjoyment. And there are 2 books that I'm still waiting to read from there. And I want to finish that this year. I would love to finish that series this year. It doesn't have to be done, but it's just a personal goal to have that series finished. So the 2 books that are left to read, and therefore on my TBR, is His and Hers by Alice Feeney. I don't really know anything about this. All I know is that a woman's murdered in a village. A newsreader is reluctant to cover the case. Her ex-husband is suspicious of her involvement until he becomes a suspect in his own murder investigation. And Jade's read this. She loved this book, but she didn't rate it too highly in the thriller ranking video. But I do really want to read it, and I'm excited to. Then the next book I have to read is I Am Watching You by Teresa Driscoll. This was gifted to me a long time ago by Kira from Kira Can Read, and I'm very excited to actually get to this one now. This is about a woman that witnesses 2 young girls being hit on by men on, I think, the tube or on the train or something like that. And she didn't really she just kind of ignored it because it was none of her business. Then she finds out that the men are just out of prison and one of the girls has gone missing. Then I think it skips to a year later. The girl is still missing, but there's more mystery surrounding this girl that has gone missing now. And it sounds really interesting. It sounds like a lot of fun. And I read somewhere that this is a book with multiple kind of twists and turns, and I love a good twist. So that is also on there. And that will mean I have finished my ranking thriller books by the first line, and I can do a results video for that, which I love. Then, finally, I have made a video earlier in the year that was books I need to finish before the end of 2020. I had 5 books because it was quite late in the year, and so far I've read 2 of them. So, the next books on that list are The Memory of Things by Gay Polsner. This is I think a romance story, a YA romance set on the day of 9/11. And I've wanted to read this for a while, but it was quite intimidating because the story was kind of different to what I originally imagined it being. So it scared me a bit that I wasn't going to enjoy it. But I do want to read this, and I wanted to actually get it done before the end of the year. That is still a good plan. Then I have Crisscross by James Patterson. This is the latest in the Alex Cross series by James Patterson. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know that James Patterson is one of my all-time favourites. You know that Alex Cross is my all-time favourite series by him. And there is a new Alex Cross book called Deadly Cross coming out in November. It is pre-ordered. It is out, I think, on the 23rd. It's either coming to me on the 23rd or the 26th. I don't fully remember, but it's one of them two. And it's arriving to me. And I want to read this book so I can read the next book. And then I'm fully up to date. This series is finished until the next book. But up to now, it will be finished and up to date if I can just read it. So I don't know why I was delaying reading it, but I need to actually get to it. And finally, the next book I want to read, because I wanted to finish it before the end of 2020, is The Leaving by Tara Altebrando. This is a story about children going missing, and then all of these children come back years later, apart from one. And this story follows the sister of the young boy that didn't come back as she tries to piece together the mystery of what happened to her brother and why he didn't return when all of the other children did. It sounds really interesting. It sounds really fun. I don't know why I haven't read it. I think it's just the fact that I have kind of built up an expectation in my head of what I think it's going to be like. And I'm kind of scared of almost being confronted with the fact that I might be wrong. So I'm excited to read it. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that is it. These are all the books I want to read. These are all the books I would love to read in the month of December. I don't know if it's going to happen, but it is a good plan. That is what I'm trying to do. But I'm not going to put pressure on myself because, like I said, I want to end the year with some good mood reads and end it on a very high note because we've had a crappy year. Let's end it on a positive. So that is my plan. I hope you enjoy this. If you have read any of these books, please let me know which ones to prioritise in the month of December. Also, if you have any recommendations for me, please let me know down below because I don't really have any Christmassy reads. If you have any winter vibes, whether that's thrillers with a dark setting, which we love, or some cute little fun Christmas themed books, let me know because I would love all of that. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
SafeMusicList.com. Royalty-free music for marketing and promotional videos.